All right, a lot of yard noise outside. My neighbors have decided that today, this beautiful day, is the day to clean all the leaves off of their grass, and there's a lot of noise. So anyway, I'm inside, and what I want to talk about is this device. It's a Garmin G80. They call it the G80 Approach, and it's a GPS unit. It's a fantastic GPS unit. Lots of information about it with that respect on the net, and it's also a launch monitor. Now, the launch monitor function is the thing that really enticed me. My brother bought this about 5 years ago, and he loaned it to me, and I used it. And when I used it, it seemed to be quite the magical device. You just put it down, you pull a club, you hit a shot, and it gives you club head speed, ball speed, an estimated carry and roll, smash factor, and your tempo. And I'm like, wow, how the heck is this thing doing it? Well, I haven't quite got all the technicals about it, but what I can tell you is there's a lot of radar coming out of this thing, because it can see a ball going this way for a right-handed golfer. It can see a golf ball going that way for a left-handed golfer. And while you're swinging, it's watching your club. It's watching it go back and it's timing it, and then it's watching it come through and it's timing it. So it does that for a right-hander, and it also does that for a left-hander. So this radar has got to be coming out of this thing in this area in order to pick up all that data. So, I mean, it's kind of a magical thing. Well, recently, my birthday's coming up, and my brother, he knows I kind of covet this thing, but being a cheapskate, I've never really went out there and bought one. I bought that Jupiter thing for the $100, which was really a good deal. But what I loved about this Approach G80 is you just put it down and you hit balls. You don't have to select what club you're going to hit. It just magically figures it all out. Okay, so one of my main reasons for wanting this is my driving range is really deficient when it comes to targets for me to hit a wedge at. There's almost nothing out there. There's a 70-yard flag, there's a 65-yard flag, but other than that, it's a desert and it's flat. So you can't see where your ball is landing unless it happens to be really close. Well, I figure, all right, this thing, if it's accurate, it could do the job of telling me how far I'm hitting my wedges. So I've spent the last week really investigating this to see, is it any good for wedges? Especially for me this week, I worked with my Lob Wedge. All right, I did that work in the park across the street the last 3 days, and I've got a lot of data. But basically what I'm going to say about the unit, before I show you the data and show you a few swings, show you the environment, is from 0 to 35 yards, it doesn't register a shot. It's always a no read. If the shot goes... All right, correction required. If you do, like Garmin says, and you put this golf ball underneath the G80 in the little depression they give you, and you keep the golf ball about 12 inches away from the unit when you hit, I found just recently at the driving range, challenging that statement I made about the Garmin doesn't work for shots under 40 yards, I found that when I've got it like this and not laying flat, like a lot of people on the internet were saying, oh, it doesn't make any difference. No, it makes a big difference. If you put it like Garmin says, it will measure shots. I got one at 26 yards, 29 yards, 28 yards, 33 yards. So it would seem the bottom for this device is 25 yards. Now, it would be great to see a specification from Garmin saying that. However, I looked on the net, none available. My other device, the Jupiter, it claimed that it could measure down to 15 yards, and I challenged that, and that's exactly what it could do. But like good old Rick Shields says, additional video required. between 35 and 40 yards, I get about a 50% read on it. So it's not very reliable, a little frustrating for shots less than, I'm going to throw 40 yards on that. Okay? Now, once I went to target at 50 yards, everything changed. Almost all of the shots registered, and the data was pretty accurate. And then when I went to 60 yards, no missed shots at all, and the data, you'll see it, again, pretty accurate. I got a lot of shots that were plus or minus 2 yards. I got the occasional flyer that was off by 4 yards, and I've got the hard proof of it, but in general, you know, if you just want to set this thing down and hit wedge shots, I'd say you're going to get about 90 to 95% good results from 50 yards, and I only tested at 50 to 60, so I can't, you know, say for anything more than that. But I've seen other reviews, and they talk to the accuracy. But my numbers, they're real numbers, and you're gonna see how I did it and what I got. So if you're thinking about buying a Garmin Approach G80 for your wedge game, here are the numbers you should consider. I did yardages, a batch of 40 yards, and then I did another batch of 40 yards, then I did a batch of 50 yards, and I did a batch of 60 yards. Each batch contained the same amount of hits. So for the 60 yard, where they all registered, I hit about 21 or 22 shots. And then on a particular batch of 40, you can see I've only got 12 shots shown. So that means that there were about 8 to 10 balls that didn't register. And then in the second batch, about the same thing. There were about 10 balls that didn't register. All right. And then in the 50 yard, almost every ball registered. And then for 60 yards, every ball registered. Now, I color-coded this to make it easy to read. If the difference between the real world, what I seen with my eyes, best as I could, and what the Garmin said was only 1 yard, plus or minus 1 yard, I colored the data yellow. If it was plus or minus 2 yards, I colored it orange. So you can see, for what the Garmin actually registered when there wasn't a no read, most of this chart is yellow, meaning plus or minus 1. Okay, there's the orange, plus or minus 2, but there's not a whole lot of shots that weren't plus or minus 2. So, in my opinion, if you're looking to buy this Garmin Approach G80 and use it for your wedge game, you know, between 40 yards and 60 yards, that's what I was getting with my Lob Wedge, well, I highly recommend it. Looks really accurate, rock solid. All right, so you've seen the data. You could just stop right there, but if you're like one of those people that tuned into this video to make a decision whether they want to buy this Garmin Approach G80 for their wedge game, I'm giving you the raw data from here. Everything that I filmed this morning, it's the actual thing. No cuts, no cleaning up, just what I filmed. All right, it's day 3 of this Garmin experiment. I'm going to hit 40 yard, 50 yard, and 60 yard shots again. I've changed my location a little bit. I've got a little wind helping now, and let's see how the numbers turn out. About 37, no register. again, about the same shot, 38 yards. So 37, 38. Looked to be about 35, 35. About 40, 39. Looked to be about 30, no register. About 32, no register. About 35, no register. About 39, 40. About 40, 41. Actually, it was a little past 40, kind of 41-ish. $40, 42. About 39 and a half, 39. Nice shot. About 41, says 39. I think that was a no read. About 40 and a half, 41. About 40, 43. About 39, no read. About 40, 43. About 42, 42. Kind of a dub. 30, no read. About 38, 42. Could have been a no read. That line drive piece of crap. All right, batch 2. Let the dump truck go on its way. I hit it, the Garmin went to sleep. Good hit, good trajectory. About 42, 43. Good trajectory. About 38, 39, 43. That's a mid no read. About 39, 39. Now about 36, no read. About 38, no read. About 43, 45. About 35, no read. $40, 39. $40, 41. $40, 44. $40. Still says 44. About 42, 41. $40, 39. About 39, 40. No read. No read. About 39, 39. $40, 39. 38. All right, I've got the target set out to 50 yards, where yesterday 50 yards was a lot more consistent than the 40 yard. A lot more reads, a lot less no reads. Nice shot. Seems to be about like 42-ish. 42, 42. A little bit pulled, about 47, 47. About 52, 53. Nice shot, a little short. About 45, 44. To the left, about 50, 48. Nice shot. About 48, 48. Shot, about 47, 42. Pushed about 50, 51. About 52, 53. Nice shot. 50 yards, 47. Yards, right on the stick, 46. That's a 4-yard miss. 4 yards a lot. That was a dub. Measured at 40, looked to be about 40. Nice hit. About 52, 53. $50, 49. Nice shot, high trajectory. 50, 49. Nice shot. About 49 and a half, 51. 51. Nice shot, high, about 52, 52. About 48, 48. Shot, about 50, 51, 51. '51's pretty solid. I only had one ball that was off by 4, and I'm absolutely positive it was off by 4, but the rest of those shots where the Garmin was agreeing with the real world, the percentage was pretty high. Yeah, I moved myself back to 60 yards from the target. Nice hit. Short, probably about 52-ish, 53. Nice hit. Same category, 53, 53. Nice hit. About 59, 58, 56. About 55, 55. About 60, pulled, 61. About 55, 54. Nice shot. About 57, says 55. $55, $55. $50-ish, 50. I finally used some swing. 62, 62. About 55, 57. Nice shot. Right on 6, 0, 5, 9. Really good. Nice shot. About 59, 58. Nice shot, a little short. Right at 55, 51. Nice shot. Six, 0, 5, 9. Nice shot. About 58, 57, 55. Nice shot. About 6, 1, 6, 3. Nice shot. 58. About 58. Nice shot, Cole. Maybe 62, 63. Shot. 6, 0, 6, 2. All right, I'm coming up to the carnage of the 60-yard shots that I hit. Not so much to show you whether I'm a good golfer or a bad golfer, but, well, kind of you can see from the results I'm not the best golfer in the world. I've got a lot of shots over here that are short and to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And then coming in here, shots that were just short, kind of about the middle-ish. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And then shots that were kind of right on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And then over here off to the left I got 1, 2, 3. So this is kind of a way I would evaluate, you know, how I'm doing. Well, from what I'm looking at here, only 5 good ones out of about 20 balls. Well, I'm going to go back and try again. My obvious mistake was not using enough power. Alright, so I shot another group of 60 balls with no pressure of the YouTube camera, and I've got one here, about, I don't know, 7, 8 yards short. Another one here, so 3 of them that, not so hot. However, the rest of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 are pretty good shots. I've got the usual couple long over here. But, hey, I take that.